LUCIER. I'm the Vice President of Global Carriers. My responsibility is taking care of many of the properties and partnerships that we have in Central Eastern Europe. From a global perspective, I think we are seeing customers are going into stores and they are now no longer asking just for voice hardware. They're now going in there and looking for smartphones, and that trend is a global trend, and I don't think it's also what we're seeing in Central Eastern Europe as well. We have people who are now, as an end-user customer, there's a strong interest in looking at more than just voice services on a device, and because that opportunity is here and now, and the products and the solutions are available to customers, the interest is growing very strong. I think from a carrier perspective, this is I hesitate to say this, but it's a great time for us because in the current global economy, what's happening is people are looking for productivity. They're looking for efficiency. They're looking to squeeze as much as they can out of existing business, but more importantly, they're looking for new opportunities and new business. And so, for many of our carriers, I've had back-to-back meetings at this show in the last 2 days with the carrier partners that we have, and the overall trend that I'm seeing is the carriers are very concerned about their CapEx spending, and they're looking for how do we invest very strategically in our future, in the near future, and where are we going to see the greatest return on investment. And so it's being very scrutinized. And so what we are offering, essentially, the value out of BlackBerry and our solution is time savings, it's productivity, it's efficiency. And so we are very much of interest to the carriers today as they look at where they're going to grow their business in the very near future. In Central Eastern Europe, we're seeing that trend is very much the same as what we're seeing in North America and all the markets that we're in. And I have the luxury of being involved with markets everywhere except for Asia Pacific. So I get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will. And so this is a trend that we're seeing very strong growth in. And so I think that the solution today, people are looking for that efficiency, the productivity. They're looking for what's available today, and I think the message for Central Eastern Europe, in my mind, is that these solutions are available today. You can go into a store today in several of these countries, and you can pick up a BlackBerry. You can have access to your email. You can have access to applications. If you're a consumer, you can have access to the consumer applications that you're interested in, like Facebook. That's very, very universal. YouTube, these different applications that are out there that people are using. So that platform is available to people. It's very open and very accessible. So I think the message really is that it's here, it's now, it's not something that we have to wait for in the future. And if people are looking for productivity and efficiency and time savings, this solution is very applicable. So we've done some Ipsos Reid studies. The studies that we've done over the past, I think we've had three studies done over the past few years. The time savings are approximately 60 minutes is what we're seeing. And I think if you ask anybody who's used a BlackBerry, are any of you using BlackBerry? Okay, one person. Hopefully, maybe you'll improve my figure a little bit. You're using one as well. Okay, good. 60 minutes for a person who's traveling overseas, which we are all doing right now, is probably a very conservative figure. I'm a person who spends a lot of time on an airplane. I probably save 2 hours a day. So I think 60 minutes is very conservative, and 60 minutes is quite strong. If we go back to your comments of 15 to 30 minutes, I think that we're well in excess of that. So. The time savings come from, in between meetings, you're in the back of the taxi cab, you're waiting on the tarmac at the airport. For those of you who've had a BlackBerry and that experience, you probably hopefully utilize those opportunities to make yourself much more productive and efficient. When you normally would have downtime, you're able to turn that into productive time. Whether it's doing more business and closing more sales if you're a business person, or getting home to your family faster so you can spend more time with your kids. But that time saving is really what we're offering.
Economic downturn, recession, and a RIM perspective on that, and how BlackBerry can help people through difficult economic time.
Well, obviously we're all affected by the economic downturn right now. What I'm seeing from talking to partners, and I've had the privilege of being able to speak with many of the partners in the last 2 days, they're all looking to be very strategic about where they grow their business. And where they spend their money. Everybody's being. I've had several conversations today with carriers. In fact, this morning I had one where they outlined very clearly what's been asked of them by their senior management, and where they need to be very careful about their CapEx spending and making sure that they're very strategic. So again, getting back to the comments I made at the beginning, time savings is universal. Productivity and efficiency. If somebody asks me what I truly sell, I'm selling time savings. I'm selling productivity and efficiency. So in a time when we are being very careful about where the money is spent, and we want to stimulate the economy and make sure that we grow our businesses, this is a perfectly suited solution for that. You take this to the enterprise space, and you have customers and corporate customers who are looking very carefully at their bottom line and very carefully at where they spend their money. They want to squeeze as much as possible. So, do you give an employee a laptop and a PC card to log in from their hotel room and the costs involved in that, or do you give them an appliance like a BlackBerry where they can have access to their information and save 60 minutes a day, whether they're using that to be a happier employee or to be more productive in the business sense. So in the enterprise space, everybody's looking for that efficiency and that productivity, and I think we're perfectly suited to address that need. On the consumer side, it's no different. People are looking for more time to make more money or more time to manage their affairs in a more efficient and productive manner. So I think, if you're in a downturn and you're selling productivity and efficiency and time savings, you're in a good spot. And so I think that we are very well suited to address those challenges that face companies and businesses across the globe. It's not just a Central Eastern European trend. Obviously, it's something that's affecting them.
How do you work in the marketing way in this region, Central and Eastern Europe? Because one of the things, even big companies, their first reaction to the economic crisis was they just pulled down the marketing, which is probably the biggest mistake you should do. How do you work in that way? Will you be more aggressive in marketing, or you leave it up to the carriers? Or
we are very, very involved in the marketing process with our partners. Our strategy is to make sure that we drive the marketing campaigns through the channels. And so what we're really concerned with right now is making sure that we're available in all the channels. So if you go into some of the Central Eastern European countries, our goal is to be in every channel possible. Wherever people want to buy, we want to be there to sell. And so marketing spend and marketing strategy right now is very, very channel driven. So we're working very closely with our partners. We do joint marketing plans with them where we target various channels and we make sure that we spend that money. I personally think that spending money on banners and advertisements in this show or anywhere, it has some effect, but we think that it's much more strategic to work with our partners and be very specific and strategic about our channel marketing. So our programs are channel driven. And we work very closely with the carriers. We are a carrier-centric company, and we use those carriers and our partners as our channels of distribution. So we're very interested in being very targeted about that. So I think that's been our strategy. And I wouldn't say that we're going to spend less, spend more. We're going to continue doing what we're doing. We want to continue to grow the business as much as possible. But I would say that what's a concern for us and what's important to us is that the channels are ready. Rather than just put an advertisement up on a TV or an advert at an airport, if you don't have the channels primed and ready and your partners are not ready and they're not trained and they're supported properly, then it's a waste of money. And so we're very, very strategic about where we're spending. And certainly you grow your business by being strategic right now. It's very, very important. So it's part of our strategy.